that it can be anything. So the very important part about being a caregiver is taking care of yourself first. You cannot be a great caregiver if you don't take care of yourself first. If you're down in the bed, sick or something like that, your loved one, whoever it may be, whether it be a child or a parent or anything like that, cannot get the care that they need. So that's what we're gonna talk about a little bit today. I'm gonna pass some more of our brochures out. 10 mornings on a regular basis. So one of the big things that we have for our caregivers, and here's another, just a little stat to throw out. 1 in 6 people know someone with Alzheimer's, someone that's been affected by it. So we have an award-winning website, alz.org, that provides everything that someone would ever want to know. So whether it be from the beginnings that you've just been diagnosed, or that your loved one is diagnosed. So something that we love to send our caregivers to, because while we do have support groups throughout North Alabama, through the 11 counties that we cover, not all of our counties have a group yet, but if you are in one of those counties, we don't have a group for you, or maybe you can't make the times that of the groups that are there, we do have our online. It's 24/7. It can always be accessed. We also have our 1-800 number, something that I'm very proud of, because I don't know of too many other diseases that I have found or come in contact with that have a 24/7 helpline. That's not just staffed for somebody who would take an automated call. You are going to talk to a live person from here, from the US, who you can understand. We do have over 100+ languages, so pretty much pick your language. Although we keep telling them when they get someone from the South, just send them to the Huntsville office. But you're going to have a master's level trained counselor when you talk to that person. And sometimes when we pick up the phone for that caregiver stress, they have reached their limit. They're at the last line of defense that they have, and before that string breaks, they reach out to us. Granted, we want them to come to us sooner because they won't reach that point if we can be with them throughout the steps. So go into our website about being a healthy caregiver. What I wanted to kind of go over some, and the mouse is not working, so we'll just go through a little bit of this. But making sure that you see your doctor. That's huge. Just keeping up with your health. Going to the physical. If something's not right, if that sniffle stays a little bit longer than you think it should, and the other medicines aren't working, go to the doctor. Don't keep putting it off, because all you're doing is going to make it worse. The pains that you're experiencing somewhere in your gut, something's wrong. We're not supposed to have pain. So when you do have those bits of pain, that's when you've got to get to your doctor. And the biggest example I can have is a woman that she lets me share her story all the time. Her name's Laura. Her husband has early onset Alzheimer's dementia. Just throwing this out there, Alzheimer's is the #1 type of dementia. Dementia is a collection of symptoms. It is not a diagnosis. The doctor gives you or your loved one that diagnosis, ask for the real one. That's what we're trying to do. She knew what was coming. She had prepared herself. She was as educated as one could be. She also went to the doctor. She did her checkups. And slowly and surely, though, her health started declining. Over the last 2 years, I've lost count of how many times Laura has entered the hospital. Problem is that her husband, who's only now 53, was diagnosed at 47, has to be with her. Whether she wants him to or not, he's going to be there. Probably going to collect every cup he can find as well, because that's his hobby when he gets into the hospital. Driving every nurse crazy, along with Laura. Laura can't even get the rest that she needs, because and it's not just, it has nothing to do with him. It's her. She's going to be worried about him, just like anyone else would. Especially if you had, you can have to think of when you have young children, if you've had the flu or something, you're worried about what's going on with them, and you're not being able to take care of yourself. So even though Laura was doing everything possible, her health has declined from pancreatitis, she's had to have a pacemaker put in. All of these things have happened to her in the last 2 years. So her staying up with her doctor, getting the help that she needs is paramount over anything else. Also, just get moving. Laura was another one, she's very active. So when she finds herself stuck in the bed, it is not fun for Laura, nor is it fun for anyone else, because she does want to get out and she wants to move around and be active. So whatever it is, the commercial that's been going around, body in motion stays in motion, that is the truth. And that also goes with your mind. A mind in motion is going to stay in motion. Keeping yourself up, active, whether it is reading the newspaper. No, you do not have to do crossword puzzles if you don't like crossword puzzles. I hate them. I don't like the smell of food. I don't like any of those things. I feel dumb when I do them. But a word search game, yeah, I could do a word search game. Or like reading the newspaper, reading a new book, learning a new game. It doesn't have to be something, I mean, yeah, go out and try to learn a language. It's a little difficult the older you get, but it is possible. So something that you may want to do is just learn a different card game. You're used to playing bridge. Maybe you want to learn how to play something else. I don't know how to play poker. I have to have a cheat sheet with me of like what beats what, and that's the only way it's going to happen. But maybe if somebody is a poker player, maybe they actually do learn to play something a little different. So it can be anything. Playing blackjack, it's fun, it's easy, it's also keeping your mind going because you're trying to think of you're instantly trying to do math. My mom caught my friends and I when I was about 10 or 11 years old, at a birthday party, hearing, "Hit me." We didn't really know what it all meant, but we were playing with candy and we were playing blackjack. So what you should have just realized is we were working on our math skills. But it is something to think about. So it doesn't have to be something brand new that's hard and difficult. It can be something easy. It can be a new board game that you're learning all about. Other part, eating well. She already talked about it. You are what you eat. You are also what your food eats. So keeping those things in mind, while there is no way of preventing, treating, or even curing Alzheimer's, what we can tell you is if it's good for your heart, it's good for your brain. So any of those things that do say, this is good for, this stuff to eat is good for your heart, it's also going to be good for your brain. That's why we also know that diabetes gives you an increased risk of Alzheimer's. Reduce the diabetes risk, you're going to reduce the Alzheimer's risk. So that is